Vikings running back Bishop Sankey, an MRI shows that he has a torn ACL. Joe Flacco will not participate in training camp at all, at least in terms of the preseason games this year for the Baltimore Ravens. He will be available for week 1, though. Alex Lewis, the guard for Baltimore, he's done for the year with a shoulder injury. Redskins have lost linebacker Trent Murphy. He's done for the season with a torn ACL and MCL. Bills, they shipped off Sammy Watkins and a pick to Los Angeles for quarterback E.J. Gaines and also a second-round 2018 pick.
Your shot at a trip to our iHeart Radio Music Festival now. Text the keyword LUCKY to 200-200. You'll get a text confirming entry plus iHeart Radio info. Standard data and message rates apply. That's LUCKY to 200-200.
It's time for Clemson Sports Talk with Lawton Swan.
Ready, set! I started on cleanup just like you guys. But now, see, I'm washing lettuce. Soon I'll be on fries, then the grill. A year or two, I make assistant manager. And that's where the big bucks start rolling in.
Just 2 years, huh?
Tiger style. Tiger style.
Finally, Clemson Sports Talk has come back to Columbia. Hello, everybody. Lawton Swan back in the saddle once again. 316 Greystone Boulevard. Fast-paced, action-packed. Hurry up and no huddle sports talk programming for you. Fox Sports Radio 1400 in the Midlands, heard around the world on the iHeart Radio application. Download it today. It is free. The Clemson Sports Talk app for iPhone and Android devices is free. Our thoughts, opinions, and more free for you here on the show that shakes the Southland. Lowell, the intern, in the building. Hashtag doing work. Zach Lentz set to join us coming up. Happy birthday. And I'm not ashamed to say this, Lowell. I'm not ashamed to say this. Happy birthday to my number one fan and my number one listener, my dad. Not ashamed to say that at all. He's out having dinner down in Bluffton tonight. Tried to call him earlier. You know, you call your parents to wish them happy birthday, but you could tell they're in the midst of going to do something, so the call only goes a minute and 30. It's pretty quick. You're like, hey, Dad, you know, I'm trying to invest here in our relationship in your, you know, let's see. So what year is this? This is 2017. So he just turned 83. You know, I'm trying to invest, Dad, in your golden years by giving you a nice phone call and talking to you for a significant amount of time. And the whole time, I'm getting the vibe that he's ready to get off the phone. It's like, yeah, happy birthday. Talk to you soon. Love you too, Dad. Happy birthday. I'm telling you, he is my number one listener. Let me tell you what he'll do, Lowell. He'll go out to dinner, and he'll take headphones with him, and he'll be sitting at the table eating dinner with his wife, listening to the show that shakes the Southland. Now, that's locked in. That's doing work. That's the type of commitment that I want to see from the rest of the listeners here on Clemson Sports Talk. If your wife hasn't fussed at you at the dinner table about listening to the show that shakes the Southland, then you're just half a fan of this program. You guys got to step your game up a little bit. And if you're a lady and your husband hadn't fussed at you yet about listening to our show, then what are you waiting for? An invitation? Speaking of invitations, I'll invite him here onto the program, rocking a sweet Clemson National Champions 2016 t-shirt with a tiger in the middle, reminiscent of the tiger that represents the Clemson Sports Talk brand. He is none other than Lowell, the producer. Lowell, what's going on, my man?
Bada boom, realest champs in the room. How you doing?
Did you just crack your knuckles?
Oh, yeah. I hope that went over the air, too.
Yeah, the Italian, he wants to be called Stallion. I'm calling him the Italian Wonder Boy. That's your new wrestling gimmick.
That doesn't flow. It's got to flow. Italian stallion flows.
How about the Italian galleon? Like a boat, like a big boat? Is that not?
How does that make any sense?
Are you not buoyant? Do you not float?
No, I don't.
Lowell the intern, good to see you, man. I like the new shirt.
It's like retro. It's like throwback.
It is very throwback. And what's can I give you one thing that is strange about it? Is the national championship logo in the upper right hand pocket there. It just kind of feels like it should be elsewhere. I don't know where else, but maybe on either side of the 2016. It's a little off kilter for me. Like if I was making a Clemson Sports Talk shirt like that and I sent it to you and I said, Lowell, what do you think about this? You would tell me, well, Swanee, what's up with if that were on the back of the neck, like right in the middle on the middle net back, that would have made more sense to me. Is there anything on the back?
No,
I'm not sure, Swanee.
So.
I just buy these shirts randomly. I really just look at the front. No, it is all clear on the back. But that would have been a great spot for that right there on the back to keep the front a little more balanced, I think, is the term.
This is Clemson. This is unique. They don't do things your way. They do things their way.
I hear you. Are the phone lines working today, Mr. Lowell, the producer?
They were. They were when I tested them earlier. Hopefully they will continue to work.
So 2 days worth of conversations from the people are set to commence in 3, 2, 1. The number is 803-978-1832. 803-978-1832. Big news out of the NFL. It doesn't deal with Deshaun Watson, although a couple of days ago I thought Deshaun Watson was pretty big news. Looks silky smooth in the pocket. Poised, controlled. Look like a winner. Look like you're going to win with that guy. But one former Clemson Tiger football player will be playing football in a new home. Sammy Watkins out at Buffalo. Last night, they played, and Sammy, I believe, caught the first 3 passes of the game for the Buffalo Bills. But Sammy Watkins has been shipped off. He now will play for the Los Angeles Rams, who I heard earlier right here on Fox Sports Radio have yet to score a touchdown at home since they began playing back in Los Angeles. Lowell, I've got to ask you, one, do you like the move for Sammy Watkins being traded to Los Angeles? And two, do you think long-term this is something that will work out for him? Now, the Buffalo Bills in this trade will get Jordan Matthews from the Eagles as a part of this entire package. And they also got cornerback E.J. Gaines and a 2018 pick from the Bills. So a busy day for the Buffalo Bills acquiring a new wideout, Jordan Matthews, and a 2018 third-round pick from Philadelphia for Ronald Darby, the former Florida State star. And then in the Sammy Watkins deal, getting E.J. Gaines and a 2018 second-round pick. Will this work out for Sammy? Is this a good deal today?
It's a terrible deal for Sammy. Now, you get to get out of the cold of Buffalo and go to L.A., so that's a positive.
That is a positive. And I can't tell you how many times we've talked about Clemson Tigers skill position players being in Buffalo, like Spiller, and now like Sammy Watkins, and recognizing how detrimental I believe that is to a skill position player's career playing in that environment outdoors at Ralph Wilson Stadium.
But
he
goes from playing with Tyrod Taylor, who is one of the more underrated quarterbacks in the NFL, to playing with Jared Goff, who had one of the worst rookie seasons of any quarterback I think I've ever seen. You just said it. They hadn't scored a touchdown at home in the new stadium yet, an offensive touchdown. It's not good. It's not good for his prospects, especially considering this is a contract year. This is the money year for Sammy Watkins. And he gets to go play it with a guy who so far
Yeah.
has not looked very good.
Has not proven himself. But I had a chance to watch a good bit of Jared Goff last season during the Hard Knocks series when it was on. And at least the good thing for Sammy Watkins is there is belief that Jared Goff can be a very good quarterback in this league. The problem, as you've pointed out, is the fact that this is Sammy Watkins' money year. This is the year where he was set to get paid. Now, the byproduct of this move, even though he may be ending up in Los Angeles and out of the cold of Buffalo, I believe this. The ceiling for Jared Goff, much higher than the ceiling for Tyrod Taylor. And because of that fact, if Jared Goff were to come in to this year and improve, I would make the argument today that Sammy Watkins at the end of this season would have played with a better quarterback. I don't buy into Tyrod Taylor. I just don't. And I know this is a guy who Buffalo has put a good bit of faith in, but he did take a pay cut this year, Tyrod Taylor, to work things out with them. You know, I just don't see him being a great quarterback. Like, if you would have told me that Buffalo could have drafted a guy like Deshaun Watson, absolutely a better player than Tyrod Taylor. I mean, I don't trust Tyrod Taylor as far as I can throw him. And as much as there's questions, or as much as there are questions about Jared Goff, I think that his upward potential is better than Taylor's. And because of that fact, this year, if it's a breakout year, if Goff has a good year, then all of a sudden that move for Sammy Watkins would be a good one. And I will not discount the weather. Again, I want to keep that in mind. Late season games, November, December in Buffalo, those can be snow-infested, just nightmares for wide receivers. Those games can be horrible. You know, Los Angeles, every home game is going to be beautiful. One of the things I did find interesting in this whole deal as well, though, was Buffalo GM Brandon Beane saying that the trade, in terms of what it does for Tyrod Taylor, he says that it doesn't say anything about what it does for Tyrod Taylor or what it means for Taylor. He says everybody's forgetting Anquan Bolden re-signed with us. Bolden signed, I believe it was a 1-year, $2.5 million deal with the Buffalo Bills the other day. They said this is not a throw in the towel thing at all. I feel concerned for Buffalo if Anquan Bolden, who is 36 years old, is all of a sudden becoming a fixture of your offense. Obviously, the acquisition of Jordan Matthews is a move made to negate some of the loss from losing Sammy Watkins. But still, if your comment about what you're doing is about Anquan Bolden coming into the fold, and that's how you're judging not throwing in the towel, I don't find that to be accurate. And this is a program in the Buffalo Bills, a franchise in the Buffalo Bills, that has not won a playoff game, in, 22 years, Lowell, and hasn't played in a playoff game in 18? Is that what we said the other day?
Yeah, I think the last playoff game they played in was, 1999? I think that's what we said.
How is that even possible? Like, how can you be that bad for that long? At least if you're Sammy Watkins, you've gotten a bit off of that schneid. You're out of that town. Now, it hadn't been great recently for the Los Angeles Rams. Certainly not necessarily in Los Angeles. And, you know, haven't been all that hot out in when they were in St. Louis either. But for crying out loud, Watkins today lands with what I think is potentially a better quarterback. The team not very good, but maybe, just maybe, long-term for Sammy Watkins, if Goff improves in a hurry, he might put up some big numbers this year. You want to react to Sammy Watkins being out in Buffalo? You can. 803-978-1832. 803-978-1832 is the number. The hashtag on Twitter, CST Show. Follow us at Clemson Sports, at CST Show, and at Lowell CST. That's Lowell. 10 being mind blown. 1 being I expected it. Watkins out in Buffalo probably put me at like an 8 or a 9 today. An 8 or a 9. And I know he's had injuries, and I know his career's been hampered just a bit. But last night, given the early start with Sammy Watkins getting his hands on the ball, I thought to myself, wow, this season the Buffalo Bills are going to be targeting Sammy.
Do you want to hear a theory?
You can give me a theory.
The Buffalo Bills worked Sammy so much in that preseason game because they wanted to show he was healthy for a trade.
So somebody said, but, okay, hold up. All right, I'm going to categorically deny that as a possibility.
Okay, tell me why.
The reason that I say that is an impossibility is the following. It would be easy to agree with you if there weren't one other piece between upper-level management, the coaching staff, and Sammy Watkins. And that being the quarterback.
It's easy to get him to throw to Sammy Watkins. It wasn't like long developing routes. It was little hitch routes over the middle where they go, all right, let's just play a little pitch and catch. It's going to be a little 5-yard route. You just hit Sammy on it and see what he can do. They're going to be playing off of him. It's going to be an easy throw.
And that's
just get it to Sammy.
That's the problem I have. That's the thing I have a problem with. I cannot imagine that the Buffalo Bills coaching staff or the ownership would tell the quarterback, just throw the ball to Sammy. Like that to me is the issue.
This is easy. This is easy to figure out.
Easy to figure out.
Ownership tells the coaching staff, you need to work Sammy and show that he's healthy. If you don't, we'll go get somebody that will. Easy.
Oh.
Easy.
Yeah.
So from that point, and they may not say that, they go, but hey, we want to showcase Sammy Watkins. We may do a trade.
Yeah.
And so then the coaching staff goes, okay, well, let's, he's not going to be in very long. It's going to be the first drive. Let's hook up Tyrod and Sammy a couple times. We'll give them a couple of 5-yard routes. It wasn't anything complicated. There was no.
Well, he only had 4 receptions the entire game.
Right, but none of the receptions were, hey, Sammy, you're going to run a 20-yard post route. It was, hey, Sammy, you're going to do a drag across the middle. You're going to run a 3-yard hitch and see what you can do with it. It was Tyrod Taylor getting the ball out of his hand as fast as possible to Sammy Watkins and seeing what Sammy could do. You see what I'm saying here?
I love that. Listen, Tyrod, what's the game plan, coach?
Tyrod doesn't even have to know about it. You just go, Tyrod, you're going to work it to Sammy. And Tyrod may think, oh, we're going to work on our chemistry. It's going to be a great season. Sammy's going to go for 2,000 yards. I'm going to win the MVP. And then
we're going to trade him in a matter of hours.
Right.
About time they woke up from going to bed after the game. He gone. Sammy Watkins out in Los Angeles with the Rams. And if you're like me, when it first said Los Angeles, I said, oh, baby. Watkins and Williams, baby. 1-2 punch. Here they come, L.A. No. Chargers for Williams. Rams for Sammy Watkins. 803-978-1832. React with us on Twitter at Clemson Sports.
Win your trip to our 2017 iHeart Radio Music Festival, hosted by Ryan Seacrest.
Let's go!
Over 20 of the greatest performers on the planet. September 22nd and 23rd at the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas. Listen to Win Your Trip.
Vegas! Introducing new M&M's brand caramel candies. Or is it caramel? No matter how you say it, they're delicious. unsquare, caramel, or caramel with new M&M's brand caramel candies today.
Need custom shirts, hats, or uniforms? How about promotional giveaways for your business or organization? Need fast turnaround times? Look no further than Meridian Printing and Promotions. Located in Lexington, they provide an in-house art department, in-house screen printing, and in-house embroidery services to the Midlands and beyond. For the absolute best quality products and services, contact Meridian Printing and Promotions, 785-4990. Check them out online, mbspromo.com.
Love it raw? For the freshest sushi in town, Sakatumi Grill and Sushi Bar, 807 Gervais Street in the Vista. Sakatumi's flavorful grill for non-sushi fans features the Kobe burger, filet and lobster, chicken hibachi, and more. Fresh sushi, flavorful grill, Sakatumi Grill and Sushi Bar, sakifresh.com.
Your pet deserves high-quality health care. Your pet deserves the friendly, professional doctors and courteous staff at Midlands Veterinary Practice. We treat you and your pet like family by listening carefully to your concerns and addressing your pet's long-term healthcare needs. With the use of our latest state-of-the-art technology, like a therapeutic laser, we offer alternatives to drug therapy. At Midlands Veterinary Practice, we care for the most valuable pets, yours. Visit us at midlandsvet.com on Facebook or Twitter, or contact us at 750-7387, 750-PETS.
Have you been thinking about sprucing up your yard, debating between pine straw or mulch? Call my friends at Carolina Turfgrass to get your yard looking as great as mine right now. I chose to go with pine straw this year, and it looks incredible. Carolina Turfgrass is conveniently located at 5400 Augusta Road in Lexington, and if you need your order delivered, they can take care of that too. In addition, Carolina Turfgrass carries a wide variety of turfs, including Centipede and Bermuda. For unmatched quality and service, call Carolina Turfgrass, 446-6525. Look for Carolina Turfgrass on Highway 1 in Lexington.
Welcome back to Clemson Sports Talk. Join the show in the chat room at clemsonsportstalk.com.
Clemson Sports Talk, Lawton Swan, Lowell, the producer in the building. He's at Lowell CST hanging out with us here tonight. Barrett Sallee.
By the way, CST stands for conspiracy theory.
What's the S stands for?
There's an S in conspiracy.
Conspiracy?
Conspiracy theory.
So not conspiracy theory. Conspiracy theory. I like that, Lowell. All right, so with that being said, Barrett Sallee, another national pundit buying in, Lowell. I mean, this is rarefied air. This is Southern Cal, Alabama, Florida, Texas, Ohio State territory Clemson is venturing in. I mean, would you agree? When you talk about college football teams that have been labeled college football teams that have been successful enough, college football teams that have been recognized in the manner in which Clemson has continued to be recognized, they're not in the discussion of being a great team. They're in the discussion and the conversation of being not just elite, but basically a dynasty. Is the kind of compare. What's the length of time, Lowell, of success at a high level collegiately in order for someone to be considered a dynasty? I mean, what is that length of time? Is it multiple national championships over a certain amount of period? Maybe you get 2 in 3 years. I mean, I believe if a team gets 2 titles in 3 years, they're going to be labeled a dynasty. Nebraska, back in, I believe, 1993 and 1994, somewhere in there. 94, 95, I think it was. Nebraska, Lowell, went back-to-back national titles. Are you looking at the national championships right now on your Google machine, Lowell?
I'm actually trying to find what sports people consider to be a dynasty, and apparently it's highly debated.
Okay. I would argue that winning a couple of championships back-to-back, too, is reasonable to call yourself a dynasty. Does anybody have a problem? Can you get me like 1994, 1995 Nebraska Cornhusker information, Lowell, and drop it to me in the live show notes? I want to look at Nebraska.
Here you go. In the Dynasty Wikipedia, Nebraska is listed.
Okay.
1993 to 1997.
They won 2 titles during that time.
They played for 4 national championships in 93, 94, 95, and 97. And they won 3 national championships in 4 years, 1994, 95, and 97.
So they did win 3 in 4 years. All right, give me some other. Can you drop me that link, please, in the live chat? I want to pull that up and look at it myself. Because if Barrett Sallee is right, if Dan Wolken is right, and what's interesting about this is not Lawton Swan and Lowell, the intern of Clemson Sports Talk, a couple of guys that some people would go, oh, well, they're the most orange-shaded dudes we know in the business. All they are is a big old blowhard for Clemson Tiger Nation. Give me a break. I'm going to tell you exactly how it's going to be. I'm going to call it exactly like I see it. If the Tigers are great, if the Tigers are terrible, I'm going to make sure to give you all the goods here on the show that shakes the Southland. So, dynasties, college football. They got Michigan winning 4 titles in 5 years back in the early 1900s. Modern era dynasties, though, if you move forward. Florida State, that was an incredible run they were on. Okay, so Southern Cal, that's a prime example, right? Would you agree with that, Lowell? Southern Cal is a prime example of what I'm getting into. 2002 through 2005. Southern Cal won 2 consecutive AP national titles in 2003, 2004, had an appearance in the 2005 national championship game, 7 straight Pac-10 titles, 6 major bowl wins in 5 years. Heck, Clemson's had 5 major bowl wins in, 3 years?
Dude, they had a 34-game winning streak. Goodness gracious.
Yeah. Yeah, and Clemson and Alabama have gone 28-2. I mean, can we be honest about that? 28-2 for the Tigers in 2 years. If Clemson were to pull off the feat of getting back to that national championship.
And if you win, it's 2 national titles in 3 years.
During a college football playoff era where yesterday we discussed how you have to get through a more vaunted selection of teams at the end to win it. You have to beat 2 of the best 4 teams in the country to win it, back to back. If Clemson were to pull this feat off, I think you'd have to pencil them in. Now, I don't know how far back that goes. I would assume for Clemson that because you had the season 3 years ago where you lost 3 games, Lowell was in attendance at all 3, just for the record, where you lose at Georgia, you lose Florida State, and you lose Georgia Tech. I would have to believe that if you were going to put Clemson in, it would deal with 2015, 2016, and the 2017 season, wherein Clemson played for 3 consecutive national championships, winning 2 of those. I don't know that getting back to it is just enough to quantify you as being a, quote, dynasty. But if you get back and win 2 of them, and if you've played in 3 consecutive, and not to mention the fact that in that Alabama victory 2 years ago, Nick Saban's kicking onside kicks. And, I mean, like, people will go back when they're watching the Clemson dynasty, they'll go, And even the great Nick Saban, who had a dynasty at Alabama at the time, had to resort to the onside kick.
Well, and here's what would be so crazy about it. And let's pump the brakes a little bit. Neither one of us are predicting Clemson to go back to the national championship and win it. We're saying
I am not. I am saying that Barrett Sallee's article is 4 reasons you should not sleep on the defending national champion, and it is another major college football pundit believing that the Tigers are good enough to get back into the college football playoff.
But here is why it would be so wild if Clemson managed to get back to the title game and win a second consecutive title. Number one, obviously the back-to-back aspect, which doesn't happen very often. Number two, much like the 2015 season, this is supposed to be the rebuilding year for Clemson. And it's supposed to be all sights set on next season. That's what it's supposed to be. So if you can win it this year, you have the makings down the road of being a real dynasty.
Barrett Sallee mentions that games are won in the trenches. He talks about Dexter Lawrence, Christian Wilkins, Cleveland Farrell, Austin Bryant. He ends his commentary with this: don't sleep on Clemson. This team has more staying power than any team in the country outside of the one in Tuscaloosa. We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Alicia Kaufman-Quinton. My daddy, Billy Kaufman, opened Kaufman's Meat Plant at our present location in 1955. My family still works hard every day to ensure fresh quality cuts of beef, pork, and poultry. How about a tasty T-bone, ribeye, or New York strip steak? But to order at Kaufman's Meat Place. Just look for the signs near the intersection of US 1 and I-20 in Lexington. Call us at 356-0076 to place your order. Kaufman's Meat Place, when you want the very best your money can buy.
Looking to get away without having to spend a whole day traveling to your destination? Ocean Reef Resort offers 1, 2, 3, and 4-bedroom accommodations with the comforts of home and boasts the best oceanfront views. Swim in their sparkling indoor and outdoor pools, relax in their hot tubs, try out the Adventure Oasis pool with adult-sized water slide, or just float down the 250-foot lazy river. Visit us at oceanreefmyrtlebeach.com or call us at 1-866-935-0530 to learn more.
For 28 years, the professional staff of the Hobbs Group and Hobbs Group Advisors has been dedicated to helping others achieve their financial goals by delivering quality, objective financial and accounting solutions to a diverse client base of individuals and businesses all over South Carolina. We offer tax and audit services, bookkeeping, payroll, litigation support, employee benefits, personal financial planning, investment management, and insurance services. Please call us at 803-799-0555 or visit our website, hobbscpa.com, to learn more about our people and services.
When a stroke happens, every second counts. So don't drive and call 911 to get to the emergency department as soon as possible. At Lexington Medical Center, we're pleased to serve our community. As a certified primary stroke center, our acute stroke team rapidly evaluates patients and provides them with the fastest treatment possible. This specialized care limits the chance of brain damage and gives stroke patients a better chance of full recovery. Act quickly at the first sign of a stroke and count on the Stroke Center at Lexington Medical Center to provide you with the best possible care.
The scattered storms will die off overnight. The lows will drop down to the mid-70s. Tomorrow, sunny. The highs will top out in the low 90s. And once again, some scattered late afternoon and evening storms. For Channel 25 ABC Columbia, I'm Chief Meteorologist John Farley.
This report is brought to you by South Carolina Department of Insurance.
Ray Farmer, Director of the South Carolina Department of Insurance.
Hurricane season is upon us. Help protect your family and property by being storm ready. Make an emergency plan, prepare a home inventory, and review your insurance policy. Learn more ways to be storm ready at doi.sc.gov.
Welcome back to Clemson Sports Talk. Join the show in the chat room at clemsonsportstalk.com.
Fat Joe just trying to ball up at the rucker right now listening to that, Lowell, the intern, producer / whatever your name is. All right, so let's go back to this conversation real quick because I know we got a lot to get to. Ezekiel Elliott, trouble. Look out. Everything going on in the NFL with him. Again, Sammy Watkins out in Buffalo. He is now a Los Angeles Ram. All right, I've got to ask you this, Lowell. And I want to ask the people. And you call in, you can text us, you can tweet to us, whatever, however you want to be a part of it. If Clemson were to pull this feat off, all right, because there's no team on this list. I was looking again during the break. I don't see any team on this list that is listed for a run of less than 4 years. I mean, even Southern Cal's 02, 03, 04, and 05. That's 4-year window. Alabama's is 08 to the present. Nebraska's is 93, 94, 95, 96, 97. Right? 5-year, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97. A 5-year window. Florida State's is huge. Miami's is huge. Alabama's won in the 70s and 80s big. Oklahoma's is 71, 72, 73, 74, 75. These are pretty big windows. Barry Switzer at Oklahoma in that 5-year run won back-to-back national championships in 74 and 75. Which, if Clemson were to win the national title this year, and again, we're not trying, and I don't want South Carolina fans peeking over the fence, Florida State fans listening to the show. I don't want you to believe that we are projecting Clemson to win a national championship. That's not what I'm doing. Lowell, just to clarify, is that what you are doing?
It's not what I'm doing.
What we are stating is, hypothetically speaking, if Clemson were to win a national title this year, and in this playoff era, I think that's the other part of it that's different. In this playoff era, if Clemson were to go 14-1, win or lose the national title, okay, could we just go there? Win or lose? Would the run that the Tigers have been on be enough? I just don't know. I can tell you this. We talked about a few minutes ago, you talked about the bowl games that were won, and those bowl games have been enhanced significantly because Clemson's had the chance to play in a couple. But the guys that just graduated from Clemson and the guys that left, they won a national championship. They won a Fiesta Bowl. They won 2 Orange Bowls. They won the Russell Athletic Bowl, and they lost the national championship. I don't think any of those guys were on the 2012 Chick-fil-A Bowl. Was there anybody left on that roster from that team? 2012 Chick-fil-A Bowl? Let's see.
There could have been from last year.
Red shirt freshmen, yeah. Guys who redshirted would have been on that 2013 team. Or that 2012. Red shirt, so you come into college on the 2012, you red shirt, you're a freshman in 13, sophomore in 14, junior in 15, and a senior last year. So even those guys have a Chick-fil-A Bowl under their belts. They left college. Anybody that redshirted in 2012 and was still on the team, they won a Chick-fil-A Bowl, an Orange Bowl, Russell Athletic Bowl, another Orange Bowl, the Fiesta Bowl. They won a national championship, and they lost 1 bowl game. So they won, 6 bowl games, those kids, in 4 years? Well, 5 years. Would winning it be enough, though, for Clemson to be listed at this point? It would be 3 consecutive college football playoff appearances, back-to-back national championships, about this close from winning 3 consecutive. Plus, in addition to that, at that point, I think most people are going to look back at Sweeney and go, well, he was 10-4 in 2011, won the ACC, 11-2 in 2012, tied for the ACC. Hate that. 11-2 in 2013, won the Orange Bowl. 10-3 in 2014 with the injuries surrounding Watson and won the Russell Athletic Bowl. 14-1, 14-1. And then another potential 14-1. I mean, at that point, it just gets at least conversational for more than just two guys hosting a Clemson sports talk show.
Well, like I was saying, if you can pull it off and you believe that Trevor Lawrence is as good as people make him out to be, a big game changer, a guy who can win games for you.
Yeah.
And can take over and be like the Deshaun Watson, the face of college football. If you believe that, then if you win it this coming season, you are set up for the next few years to be really, really successful and have a really good run.
Do me one mathematical calculation, Lowell, real quick, if you got a second. You're going to have to look up Nick Saban's all-time record at Alabama. All right, if Dabo Swinney wins 14 games this year, win or lose the national title, over a 7-year period, if he were to win 14 games, he would have won 84 games or 12 games a year over a 7-year period. Has Saban had that same run? If you go back 7 years, including last season, so we know he's done 2. He did 14-14. We know that for a fact. Prior to those years, and giving him, say, a good season this year, what's he looking at over 7
Well,
years?
he's 114-19 right now, which is about an average of a little over 12 wins a year.
So he is averaging over 12 wins a year.
12.09.
So just over.
Just over.
Wow. So, I mean, if Swinney pulls that off over a 7-year period, he's won 12 games a season. Give me Saban's his last 7 seasons, including the last 2 years. So 5 before the 2 14s.
14-1, 14-1, 12-2.
Yep.
11-2.
Yep. I just need the wins.
Oh. Okay.
Yep.
So I just gave you 11-2. 13.
Yep.
12.
Yep.
Is that it? Or is there one more? We got one more here?
This would be this coming year, depending on what he does. That would be the number plus this coming year.
And then 10.
If you go back another year, yeah.
Right.
Man, it's elite company for Coach Swinney over the past 7 years, that's for sure. We'll look at those numbers when we get back.
Win your trip to our 2017 iHeart Radio Music Festival, hosted by Ryan Seacrest.
Let's go!
Over 20 of the greatest performers on the planet. September 22nd and 23rd at the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas. Listen to win your trip.
Vegas!
Capital One is the proud marquee partner of the iHeart Radio Music Festival. So cardholders, make sure to have your Capital One card with you at the Daytime Village presented by Capital One to unlock exclusive opportunities. See you in Vegas.
Do you want a pharmacy that treats you like a person and not just a number? Then let Craig and Lori at Southlake Drug show you what a pharmacy should be. Fast, friendly, and professional. Southlake Drug can transfer your prescriptions and take the hassle out of getting your medicine and getting you on your way. Southlake Drug takes all major insurance programs, including Medicare, Medicaid, and state employees, and they provide immunization services, including flu shots with no wait and no appointment. Southlake Drug, 1856 Southlake Drive in the Food Line Shopping Center, 399-7701, or southlakedrug.com.
Hey guys, Lawton Swan here. I was hanging out in the backyard with my son Mason the other day, and he said, "Dad, you're the best father ever." I was like, "What makes you say that, son?" He said, "When I go outside to play now, I don't get eaten up by the bugs anymore." Imagine that, me, a hero, when all I did was just a couple of weeks ago call Trey Powell at Mosquito Joe with their routine service plan. No more bugs and no more bites. Make yourself the family hero. Call Mosquito Joe today, 803-223-7916. Outside is fun again.
It's raining women at South Carolina's #1 spot for adult entertainment, Platinum West. Stand back. The ladies of Platinum West are going to electrify your senses with the most intense adult entertainment in the Deep South. Stop by 7 days a week for the finest in adult entertainment and a daily happy hour from 4 to 8 p.m. Platinum West offers a full bar with all your favorite mixed drinks and a full kitchen serving lunch and dinner 7 days a week. Buy a bottle of bubbly and spend some time chilling in our champagne suites. Ask a host or hostess for a tour. Want free admission? There are several ways. Bring your military ID 7 days a week and get in free. Bring a hotel key from any local hotel and get in free. Or bring your ticket stub after an event and get in free. Club hours Monday through Thursday, 11 a.m. to 4 a.m. Fridays and Saturdays, 11 a.m. to 6 a.m. And Sundays, 4 p.m. to 4 a.m. On Facebook at Platinum West. Platinum West. Platinum West. Platinum West.
Need custom shirts, hats, or uniforms? How about promotional giveaways for your business or organization? Need fast turnaround times? Look no further than Meridian Printing and Promotions. Located in Lexington, they provide an in-house art department, in-house screen printing, and in-house embroidery services to the Midlands and beyond. For the absolute best quality products and services, contact Meridian Printing and Promotions, 785-4990. Check them out online, mbspromo.com.
For more information about contests on this station, go to foxsportsradio1400.com/rules.
You're listening to Clemson Sports Talk with my dad, Lawton Swan, on Fox Sports Radio 1400 and on the iHeart Radio app.
A record of the delightful piece they're going to play this evening.
Ladies and gentlemen, 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 your attention, please. Your attention, please. Attention, please.
And now the moment we've been waiting for is here.
I have something to tell you.
Lawton Swan, Clemson Sports Talk. We got the schedules updated in studio today, rotated everything down a notch in preparation for the season. Saban, going back 7 years without this season, would be at 86 wins. Okay, he had a 10-win season, as Lowell mentioned, 12, 13, 11, 12, 14, and 14. Saban's last 7 years, he's won 86 games. Dabo Swinney, his last 7 years, has won 76 games. But if Swinney were to have like a 14-win season again, and Saban won, say, 10 this year, which I don't think that's going to happen, but you're talking Dabo would have won 84 games over 7 seasons. Anything Saban wins 10 or greater puts him at either 86, 87, 88, 89, 90. It's rare air, man. It's just rare what Clemson's done. I don't know if they label him a dynasty at that point or not. You might have to do more. You probably have to get 2 titles no matter what. But it's been a heck of a run. I mean, if you start comparing it to – if I said to you, hey, Lowell, name some teams in recent years that have been kind of – well thought of or believed to be at or near the top of college football. I bet if you compared their last 7 seasons to Clemson's, they don't match up. They just don't match up. I mean, I'm assuming that. I could be wrong. Name a team that you believe people have put at the top of college football in recent years.
Alabama.
Okay, outside Alabama. Another team that's gotten a lot of buzz.
Recent years as in?
Like the last 7 years. Teams that, everybody wanted a piece of. Everybody wanted to talk about, buy into.
There really hasn't been anybody consistently at the top except for Alabama, if you think about it. I mean, you've had some teams here and there. Like, you've had an Oregon show up for a couple years.
That was one that was in my head, yes.
You've had an Oregon show up. You've had Auburn show up here and there. But no one consistently there.
Ohio State?
Ohio State would be one.
But Ohio State had to forfeit every game back in 2010. And now Ohio State won 6 games in 2011. Ohio State's on a pretty good run, though, with Urban Meyer right now. Meyer, in his time at Ohio State, well above 12 wins a season. Urban Meyer went 12-0 his first year, 12-2 his second year. Now, they didn't win the national title because they were ineligible for it. 14-1 in their national championship year, 12-1 a year ago, and then 11-2 last season against the Tigers. Lowell, what you got?
Florida State's got to be up there.
What's Florida State going back?
Well, I mean, you think about, I think they won ACC titles in 2012, 2013, 2014.
Well, and Jimbo Fisher's had a better record for a while now in the ACC.
It seems like, what was it? It's like
Dabo
sets a record, then Jimbo comes behind him and breaks it.
Yes. By the way, Urban Meyer just above 12 wins per year at Ohio State.
But, I mean, Florida State won a title in 13. They made the playoffs in 14. They've been kind of iffy since then, but Clemson's also been very good.
How close? I wonder, this would be something to find out. How close is Dabo Swinney to surpassing? I mean, because Swinney's had 2 14-win seasons when Fisher has only had 10-win seasons. So it is conceivable that Swinney could have won enough the past 2 years to have taken that lead back where he will not surrender it to Jimbo Fisher in terms of wins in the Atlantic Coast Conference. Go back to 2010 with Florida State. They won 10 games, then 9 games.
Jimbo Fisher
12, 14, 13, 10, and 10.
Jimbo Fisher's 45-12 in the ACC.
And then is it conference games we're looking at?
That's conference games.
Or overall?
Whichever you want. You said conference games just now, so I was going
I'm sorry. I meant overall.
Jimbo Fisher's 78-17 in his time at Florida State.
He's been there less than Coach Swinney, though. So that's why he's continuing to break that record. You follow what I'm saying? He is more successful early than Swinney was.
And if you average his wins out, he's averaging about 13.5 wins a year.
13.5.
Now, smaller sample size, obviously.
Yeah.
Jimbo's been there for 7 years now. I think he took over in
2010 he took over. He's heading into his 8th year as the head coach. Pretty elite company Dabo Swinney's in right now. I mean, when you're comparing his run and his pace, especially the last 7 years. In the last 7 years, hold on. Give me that number again for Jimbo Fisher.
78-17.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So minus that would be, so he's still slightly better than Coach Swinney, even because he's got a 14-0 year when he won the national title. That takes a little bit of that takes one of Dabo's 14-win seasons and nullifies it. Then they got a 13-win season that nullifies the other.
And I can tell you what, if there had been a playoff in 2013, Florida State would have been the first 15-0 team to win the national championship.
They were good. They just about dropped the ball, though, against Auburn. You might remember they had to score in the waning moments. They just about dropped the ball.
You had that situation, though, where you had all that time off, and then you got to come back. You're a little rusty, and then you get back into things. But, I mean, that Florida State team steamrolled.
Well, and we were saying,
you
were saying before the show, we talked about the best player we ever saw play in Death Valley. You kind of felt like that Florida State team may have been the best
team I ever saw play in Death Valley. Yeah, all 22 starters on that Florida State team made an NFL roster at some point.
You know what? That's something we'll talk about in hour number 2. Why don't we roll this topic over to hour 2? Who's the best team you ever saw play in Death Valley, not named Clemson? You got to look at an opponent. When it really gets interesting, I think, is if you ask the question, and you can't pick Florida State, because there were a lot of great Florida State teams.
That's going to be tough.
There have been a lot of great Florida State teams that have come in to Death Valley. But the people have been to a lot of games. 803-978-1832. If you call us and we don't answer, maybe the phone lines are back down. Let us know by texting us via the Ocean Reef Resort text line 803-450-0086. Zach Lentz, senior writer for ClemsonSportsTalk.com, set to join us in hour number 2.
Hi, my name is Donald Kidwell, current owner of CrossFit Iron Mary's. After finding CrossFit in 2012, I lost 128 pounds. At CrossFit Iron Mary's, you're not a barcode, you're an actual person. Where you are now is not important. Where you want to be is. 3 locations to reach your fitness goals in Columbia: the Old Mill in Lexington, Trotter Road in West Columbia, and downtown near the Carolina Baseball Stadium. Check us out online at CrossFitIronMarys.com or give us a call at 803-414-9601. Set up your first set of free classes today at CrossFit Iron Mary's, 803-414-9601.
Our customers receive the best heating and air conditioning service in South Carolina. Hi, I'm Tim Mosley, and I can make that statement because that's what our customers tell us every day. We call it quality confirmed. Call us at 803-233-7172, and we'll call you when the job is done to confirm we met your expectations. That's quality confirmed. We're Carolina Conditions, and we're committed to meeting your expectations. 803-233-7172. Call us at 803-233-7172.
Tiger fans, look no further than the Tiger Sports Shop in Clemson for all your game day gear. Since 1974, they've brought you everything Clemson for the Clemson fan, with quality brand names such as Nike, Under Armour, Antigua, Ping, and many more. From hats to t-shirts to tailgate, the Tiger Sports Shop has all the Clemson apparel a true Tiger fan needs. With 2 convenient game day locations in Tigertown, shop where I shop at I Am Ibrahim's Tiger Sports Shop. They fuel the passion of Tiger fans everywhere. Check them out online, tigersports.com.
Hi, everyone. This is Ray.
And Marianne from Absolute Glass in Lexington.
We would like to thank Lexington for voting us the best glass shop in Lexington for 7 years in a row.
Absolute Glass specializes in high-end auto glass replacement and repair. But did you know we also specialize in home windows, patio doors, tabletops, shower enclosures, mirrors, storefronts, decorative glass, plexiglass, and safety glass.
Visit AbsoluteGlassInc.com to request a quote or call us at 803-951-7200.
You've done the research, Jonathan, and decided on a Honda.
And you waited for just the right time to buy, Gary, and now it's here. The Honda Summerbration Sales Event at Honda of Columbia.
We're clearing out every 2017 Honda in stock at the lowest prices of the entire year and giving you a hassle-free buying experience.
Don't wait. The Honda Summerbration Sales Event is the time to buy at Honda of Columbia, your friendly family Honda dealer since 1978.
Highway 378 at I-20 and HondaofColumbia.com.
What's on today's itinerary for the Jones family? Taking care of their back-to-school list.
Laptop setup? Yep. Flash drives? Yep.
That's Dad taking care of business. But who takes care of Dad? Office Depot Office Max. This week only, all HP PCs are on sale. Save $240 when you buy an HP laptop with Intel Core i7 for just $459. Office Depot Office Max.
Taking care of business.
Hurry, ends 8/12.
Me, a cat, moving in with a new human. It took a little getting used to. She has these weird games she likes to play, like this giant feather. She sticks it in my face. I swat it away. She sticks it in my face. I swat it away. It's almost like she thinks I enjoy it. But seeing how much fun she gets out of it, well, I guess it makes it all worth it. Humans.
A person is the best thing to happen to a shelter pet. Be that person. Adopt. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the ShelterPetProject.org.
From the E.F. Martin Heating and Air Studios, this is Fox Sports Radio 1400, WCOS Columbia. Available anywhere you go on the iHeart Radio app.
Fox Sports trending now.
NFL office dropped the hammer on Cowboys tailback Ezekiel Elliott today, suspended him without pay for the first 6 games of the regular season. A decision that goes all the way back to 2016 when Elliott had domestic violence charges running against him. Schedule opens up nicely, though, for the Cowboys. They play Week 1 against a rival in the New York Giants. Other news around the league, Ravens guard Alex Lewis done for the year with a shoulder injury. Joe Flacco is not done, but he will not play in preseason action. He'll be available Week 1 against the Cincinnati Bengals. Redskins, they've lost linebacker Trent Murphy for the season towards ACL and his MCL. Bills have picked up a couple of guys. First off, they traded Sammy Watkins to Los Angeles, the Rams that is, in exchange for quarterback E.J. Gaines. Eagles, they've grabbed Ronald Darby from Buffalo in exchange for Jordan Matthews. I'm David Gascon.
It's time for Clemson Sports Talk with Lawton Swan.
Ready, set, just call me Swanee.
Tiger style. Tiger style.
It is hour number 2. That's prime time right here on Fox Sports Radio and iHeart Radio. Lawton Swan, Lowell, the producer, I think. Or something like that in the building with us here tonight. Zach Lentz set to join us in about 19 minutes. Well, I was looking online earlier at a recent post from the folks at ClemsonSportsTalk.com talking about forthcoming events. Did you get a chance to see the new video that we posted earlier today? It's on Twitter at Clemson Sports. It is also on Twitter at CST Show and on our Facebook page. Lowell, did you have a chance to peruse it?
I did, and whoever did it did a fine job.
Well, thank
fine
you.
job.
Thank you, Lowell. I did that.
Oh, you did it? Oh, it was awful. It was awful then.
Oh. Appreciate that. 803-978-1832. Best team you ever saw play in Death Valley. Lowell, you pretty much said, Swanee, I don't think it's even close, right? It's the 2013, I guess that was, Florida State Seminole team. And you mentioned the players and that there were, every starter had made it into the NFL off of that team?
At one point or another, yes, they all made NFL roster.
All right, give me the rundown of some of those guys if you have that in front of you. Like, who were the players? Where did they go? I'd love to hear, because I'm sure there are other teams that have come in and 22 of the guys have gone pro. But every single player, does that include the kickers and punters and all?
No, offense and defense. The 11 guys on offense and defense. Although, Roberto Aguayo was the kicker for that Florida State team.
I wonder who the punter was. He may not have gotten much duty. That was a really good football. He may not have punted a whole lot.
Okay, you ready for this? At wide receiver, you had Rashad Green, who is now with the Jacksonville Jaguars, Kelvin Benjamin, and then offensive line, Cam Irving, who was a first-round pick.
Right.
And then, can't say this name. I know him, though. He's the offensive lineman for the Titans. Matthias?
Yeah, I remember that name.
I don't know if he's still with the Titans. He is. He's a guard for the Titans.
Okay.
Brian Stork, center for the Patriots right now. Trey Jackson, also on the offensive line, another guard. He is a free agent, however, but he was drafted by the Patriots.
Okay.
Bobby Hart, drafted by the New York Giants. Tight end, Nick O'Leary, drafted by the Buffalo Bills.
Is O'Leary still playing? Grandson of legendary golfer.
Yeah, you can't forget because they said it during every football game. Yes, he's still with the Bills.
The only thing I heard more was that I think probably in his career collegiately was that what's his name, that quarterback at NC State? Phillip Rivers
Phillip Rivers
has a kid.
He has? Yeah. Yeah.
Phillip Rivers has a kid. Appreciate that. All right, anybody else?
Running back, Devonta Freeman. Obviously,
With the
Atlanta Falcons.
Yep.
Very good. Running back, Carlos Williams, who I think is a free agent right now, but he was drafted. Quarterback, Jameis Winston. Obviously for the Tampa Bay Bucks.
By the way, speaking of the Bucks.
Now, that's just on offense, by the way.
Now, the Bucks are the team on this year's Hard Knocks. You know who his favorite wide receiver is? Adam, don't call me Tyler Grisham Humphreys, who will eventually be known as, well, the next guy that's going to be known as that would be Hunter, don't call me Tyler Grisham, or excuse me, Hunter, don't call me Adam Humphreys, don't call me Tyler Grisham Renfro, who that is going to be. The defense was loaded on that team as well. I remember that.
Yep.
That defensive line was,
and I have the defense if you're ready for that.
yeah, the defensive line were monsters. That's all I can tell you. Monsters.
We'll start with the defensive line.
Okay.
Mario Edwards Jr., who was a second-round pick of the Oakland Raiders. Eddie Goldman, second-round pick of the Chicago Bears.
Yeah, I remember recruiting Eddie Goldman. Well, I didn't recruit him physically, but I remember Clemson recruiting him.
Timmy Jernigan, second-round pick of the Baltimore Ravens.
Okay.
He is with the Philadelphia Eagles now. There's the defensive line. Linebackers, Christian Jones, Chicago Bears. Terrence Smith, Kansas City Chiefs. Telvin Smith, Jacksonville Jaguars. And then your defensive backs. P.J. Williams, New Orleans Saints. LaMarcus Joyner, Rams, L.A. Rams, although I guess they were St. Louis still at the time. Jalen Ramsey, Jacksonville Jaguars.
Right.
Terrence Brooks, Baltimore Ravens. Ronald Darby, Buffalo Bills, recently traded today to the Philadelphia Eagles.
So that's a look at that Florida State team. Now, Lowell, let me ask you something. I always forget this. So clarifying question for you, sir.
Yes.
What year were you born?
1992.
Okay. So I have researched back to 1992. And I have looked at every good game that Clemson has played at home in that time. Now, when we say to people, and again, you can hit us up on Twitter at Clemson Sports with your team that you saw play in Death Valley that's the greatest you ever thought you saw. Well, you were without hesitation. Swanee, it had to be that 2013 Florida State team. Now, are we opening the doors for people who were not in attendance at games to talk about the greatest teams they've ever seen play in Death Valley? Or does this mean you were in the seats for the game?
I think we can open it up.
Sure. You watched the game.
If you watched the game and Clemson was playing in Death Valley, sure.
Okay. Here's what I have discovered, Lowell. After perusing my media guide, I can pretty much say without hesitation that, yes, that Florida State team is the best team you've ever seen play in Death Valley. And it's not necessarily, and I'm talking about you specifically, maybe not me, but from 1992 forward, which was what I looked at initially, because I thought I had the year right on your birth. Clemson hadn't played a ton of great teams in Death Valley in that time in terms of national recognition. Now, 1992, that was Florida State's first year in the Atlantic Coast Conference. That was a night game, Death Valley, Charlie Ward, the future Heisman Trophy winner. This would be a team that some would say, Lowell, would be the one that you might have to consider being the best that you ever saw in Death Valley. This would be a competitor. This was a Florida State team that was ranked number 5 at the time. They would go 11-1 on the season. They would finish ranked number 2 in the country. The following year, that Florida State team went 12-1, beat you 57-0 in Doak Campbell Stadium, and won the national championship. So a team that finished second and then first in back-to-back seasons and dominated you the following year 57-0. But 24-20 was the final score in Clemson. That was a back-and-forth game. That was the first Clemson-Florida State game, 1992, when you were born. Fast forward through the years, 1995, Florida State came in. They were ranked number 1 in America. They beat Clemson 45-26 that day. They finished 10-2, number 4 in the country. Fast forward to 1999, Florida State was number 1 in the country. That was Bowden Bowl 1. The Seminoles end up winning 17-14. They go 12-0. They win the national championship that year. 2003, Florida State. It's funny, it's Florida State over and over.
Yeah, that 2003 Florida State team was pretty good too.
That's Charlie Whitehurst, but the Tigers won that game.
They did.
You might remember that.
I was in attendance at that game too.
Game-saving job-saving game. I guess it was also a game-saving job by the coaching staff for Tommy Bowden. Then you almost have to fast forward 10 years. From 2003 to 2013, not a lot of what I would call incredible action inside Death Valley.
That 2013 Georgia team had some really good players on it. I don't know if it was the best team, but it had some really good players on it.
They came in ranked 5th in the country.
Florida State? Or
No.
Georgia?
2013
Georgia?
Was 5th. Clemson was 8th. Tigers won it and moved up to 4. Clemson was, golly, the Tigers got the 4 in week 2 back in 2013. You'll talk about, again, going back to Dabo Swinney and what were we just talking about? Clemson was number 4 in the country in week 2 of 2013. They went to 3 in week 3. They held at 3 until a loss at Florida State. They dropped to 9. They got to 8, 7. They were 6 coming into the South Carolina game. Got beat by South Carolina. That was the game we talked about a couple of weeks back where if things had gone Clemson's way, they might have, if they had won that, they may have ended up somehow squeezing into the BCS. They play Ohio State and win in the Orange Bowl. They finished ranked 12th in the country that year, I believe. 12-2. After that lull, though, 2013 Florida State team that you tabbed, there's been a Notre Dame team that came in 2 years ago that was ranked 6th in the country. And then last season's game with Louisville was 3rd. That's your life. Now, there have been other teams that have been ranked pretty high playing in Death Valley. But I just went through and kind of highlighted the only arguments. You know what I mean? The only ones that you could really, I think, legitimately make an argument would be competitive with that Florida State team. I mean, that's a pretty stout ball club. Plus, you just went through the fact that every single one of them were in the pros.
Now, what about for you? Because that, even for you, that 2013 Florida State team has to be high up on the list.
I think the thing about them that was so impressive to me was how thoroughly they dominated Clemson that year. I mean, that was a Clemson team that went 11-2, 7-1, and the Tigers were ranked number 3 coming into that game.
And they did it to everyone. Don't they have didn't they set the record for highest point differential or something, or
they scored the more
record?
Yeah, they broke Oklahoma. I believe it was Oklahoma's record that they broke for most points scored in a season offensively. The Florida State team in 1988 was a good one with Deion Sanders. That's the Punt-Ruski game. Clemson was third that year. Florida State was 10th. The Seminoles won at 24-21 on the Punt-Ruski. They finished ranked third in the country that year. And that was the first time as a kid I ever remember Florida State. I didn't know anything about them until that day. I didn't know anything about them. And when they left, I was like, boy, that was a good-looking football team. But Clemson was competitive that day, 24-21, much like that 1992 matchup, which was 24-20, as we mentioned, when they joined the conference. Going back, though, Lowell, looking through the years, I mean, I was born in 1977. Trying to see, I mean, in 1985, look at this. In 1985, Clemson didn't play one single ranked team all year. Not once in 1985. 1984, they played a 9th-ranked South Carolina team at home. That was following South Carolina's loss at Navy. South Carolina was going to go to the national championship, and they lost to Navy. Well, I'm going to be honest. I'm at 1980. I'm at 1982. I can't remember these games. And I haven't seen. There was a number 4 Georgia team in 1981, some people might could argue. Georgia went 10-2 that year and finished number 5 in the country. Well, I'm not sure that there's an argument to be made. Notre Dame was number 5 in the country in 1977. This would have been in my lifetime. I don't remember this game. This would have been one that somebody could maybe argue. They went 11-1. They were the number 1 team in the country. That was in Death Valley in 1977. That's probably the only team you could argue in my life. That's the only other one that I see that's come in and won the national title in Clemson. Is that the only other one that won the national title of all those? Florida State? What years did Florida State win the Natty? 1999? Yeah, that 1999 team won the national championship. 1992 finished second. So only in my life, Lowell, only the 2013 Florida State team, the 1999 Florida State team, and the 1977 Notre Dame team won the national championship. I mean, if that's going to be that, Georgia, no, that was a road game. Georgia Tech won the national title back in. Florida State's won titles, but when they did that, they beat Clemson at Florida State. Just looking through to see here if there's another time, guys, that a team have won or finished number 1 in the country and beat Clemson at home.
Well, there was one that was close. 2011 Auburn. They won the national title the year before and came to Death Valley and lost.
Yeah, but that's a whole different ball of wax, isn't it?
Yeah,
they didn't have a little guy named Cameron Newton. You might remember him.
That 2010 Auburn team wasn't even that good. It really wasn't. Cam Newton elevated that system and elevated that team to being good.
Golly, Lowell, you're on to something here.
I'm telling you. That was a loaded ball club.
What year did your granddad play for Clemson? 1958?
Played in the 59 Sugar Bowl.
They got beat by Louisiana State.
LSU.
That LSU team was the number 1 team in the country.
Was not alive for it.
Zach Lentz joins us here in a minute on Clemson Sports Talk.
Hi, I'm Alicia Kaufman-Quinton. My daddy, Billy Kaufman, opened Kaufman's Meat Plant at our present location in 1955. My family still works hard every day to ensure fresh quality cuts of beef, pork, and poultry. How about a tasty T-bone, ribeye, or New York strip steak? Cut to order at Kaufman's Meeting Place. Just look for the signs near the intersection of US 1 and I-20 in Lexington. Call us at 356-0076 to place your order. Kaufman's Meeting Place, when you want the very best your money can buy.
When a stroke happens, every second counts. So don't drive and call 911 to get to the emergency department as soon as possible. At Lexington Medical Center, we're pleased to serve our community. As a certified primary stroke center, our acute stroke team rapidly evaluates patients and provides them with the fastest treatment possible. This specialized care limits the chance of brain damage and gives stroke patients a better chance of full recovery. Act quickly at the first sign of a stroke and count on the Stroke Center at Lexington Medical Center to provide you with the best possible care.
For 28 years, the professional staff of the Hobbs Group and Hobbs Group Advisors has been dedicated to helping others achieve their financial goals by delivering quality, objective financial and accounting solutions to a diverse client base of individuals and businesses all over South Carolina. We offer tax and audit services, bookkeeping, payroll, litigation support, employee benefits, personal financial planning, investment management, and insurance services. Please call us at 803-799-0555 or visit our website, hobbscpa.com, to learn more about our people and services.
Win your trip to our 2017 iHeartRadio Music Festival, hosted by Ryan Seacrest.
Let's go!
Over 20 of the greatest performers on the planet. September 22nd and 23rd at the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas. Listen to Win Your Trip.
Looking for South Carolina's favorite country? You'll find it at 97.5 WCOS.
It is Clemson Sports Talk. It is the show that shakes the Southland. Fox Sports Radio 1400, the iHeart Radio app, live on ClemsonSportsTalk.com. Zach Lentz, senior writer for Clemson Sports Talk, joins us here tonight. Zach, what's up, bud?
Nothing much, man. What you up to?
Listen, we're going through a topic here, and it's interesting. So I hate to be the host that has a long-winded question, but this is going to be a little informational question for you as well.
All right. Okay.
Lowell, the intern, said to me before the show, Swanee, I think that Florida State team in 2013 that beat Clemson and went on to win the national title and go 14-0 was the best team I ever saw Clemson face in Death Valley. And I've gone back through the record books, and I'm going to tell you, including my life, which started in 1977, the only time Clemson's been beaten at home by the eventual national champion was Notre Dame in 1977, Florida State in 1999, Bowden Bowl 1, and then that 2013 game against Florida State. Who's the best team you've ever seen take on Clemson in Death Valley?
Ooh, here's the thing. If you're talking talent-wise on a team, I think that 99 Florida State team, I mean, they were absolutely loaded, with talented players up and down the board. I mean, you not just at the skill positions, but across the line. I mean, I can't even begin to imagine the number of players that went to the NFL off that team.
Well, what's funny is, and this is the ironic thing, that 2013 Florida State team, every single player on the 22, 11 on offense, 11 on defense, have played in the NFL.
Yeah, I mean, it is. I mean,
But I wouldn't deny that 1999 team probably has the same situation.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably 6 or half a dozen when you're thinking about, the Florida State teams. But here's the thing that Clemson fans need to realize: up until recently, the most talented team that was going to play Clemson was going to be Florida State every single year.
Sure.
I mean, they absolutely dominated college football for, over a decade. And so, when you think about those teams, it's going to be a Florida State team. I mean, you could maybe. Well, I don't even think there's any discussion about it being. I would lean more toward the '99 team just because of the talent that they had. The 2013 team, while they were talented and every person, as you stated, went on to play in the league. To me, I don't know. Maybe it's just nostalgia. It could be that I'm just nostalgic, but I think the '99 team. But it's really 6 or half a dozen.
10 times in Clemson history, they've been defeated by the team that would go on to win the national championship. Dabo Swinney with 3 of those, losing to Alabama in the national championship game, losing to that Florida State team in 2013, also losing to that Auburn team back in 2010 down on the Plains. And with that being said, we'll turn our attention to this Clemson and Auburn matchup. I know that you've got a lot more time until you get there. You got to play against Kent State. But you got to believe, based off of the last time Auburn came to Death Valley and Clemson kind of upending that national championship winning team, that Auburn's got a little taste of that in their craw as they head into Death Valley to hope to steal Clemson's thunder in week 2.
Yeah, I don't know that they do. I mean, that team, when you're thinking back to them, I mean, nobody that's on that current team right now on either side really has anything to do with this year's team.
Well, that's true.
So when you're talking, well, they should have it. No, what they should be fighting for is to perform better than they have. I mean, to live up the expectations of being a top 10, top 15 program this season. That's what they've got to prove. So I don't think it has anything to do with necessarily them wanting to, upend or avenge the last time they played there. I mean, the last time that started basically a 3-game losing streak to Clemson on that day. They went from losing at Clemson to losing the next year in the Chick-fil-A Bowl and then ultimately losing last season down in the Plains. So, I don't think it's so much the Clemson stopping their national title streak or hope for a repeat. I think it's the fact they got to prove that they're once again one of the top dogs in the SEC, and they could go a long way to doing that with a win over Clemson.
Senior writer for Clemson Sports Talk, Zach Lentz, joins us. And, Zach, I know yesterday Lowell, the intern, producer, whatever he is, I'm not even sure anymore, made his way up to Tiger Town and got some great audio for the folks, with Dorian O'Daniel and Trey Lamar. And, the thing you can't help but take a step back and recognize when you hear these guys talk is just how smart and intelligent they are, and how big of a factor that probably is for this coaching staff on game day in putting some trust in those defensive players, especially Brent Venables trusting and leaning on those guys to kind of be at the head of the snake, so to speak, defensively.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we talked about this earlier today, off air. I think it goes a long way to say just the quality of person that they recruit at Clemson, and Jeff Scott went on to say some of this, yesterday when talking about the people that they recruit. They look at, the talent gets them on the radar, but it's their character that kind of gets them into Clemson and puts them in a position to be successful. But I think you're exactly right. I think when you hear these players talk, they're very well spoken. They're very knowledgeable about their positions and about what they need to do. And I think that says a lot, not just to the coaching staff's ability to train these guys up and how to handle media, but it goes a lot to the program as a whole. I mean, as a whole, they're trying to build players that, when they get into the NFL Combine and they get into these situations where they're going to be interviewed by potential employers, they can speak and they can make themselves sound very educated, because let's face it, in order to play college football at this level, you've got to be smart. I mean, there's no doubt about it. With everything that they're trying to process on a given play, you've got to be smart. Now, sometimes they don't come across that way.
Yeah.
But it's a big deal, and I think you're right. It does go a long way to help them have the trust when they know this guy's put in the work. He understands what they're doing, to go and let them play.
Zach Lentz here on Clemson Sports Talk. And Zach, tomorrow the Tigers scheduled for a stadium scrimmage, if I'm correct, as they work their way towards the beginning of the college football season. Days like this and being somebody that's been on the beat for a while, all in all, what kind of developments could potentially come out of that?
I think tomorrow is when you will begin to see who is going to separate themselves at quarterback. I mean, these are, Dabo has said how impressed he's been with Kelly Bryant this season, but this offseason, he's also said that there are, many more days until they take on Kent State. So I think they're going to look hard at this scrimmage as their first opportunity to really put these guys in a situation. They're going to try and stress them as much as they can to create, as many different looks as they can to make these guys have to think and process a lot of information. And really, I'm looking for tomorrow to be the first time that coaches can come out and say, this guy impressed me. This guy looked the part. Because let's face it, when you're going on shells and you're going on 7-on-7s and you don't really have the opportunity to look at a guy in a game-like situation, things can slide by. But I really look for this to be the first opportunity that we've got a chance to see out of the quarterback battle who's emerging, and then also that running back battle. That's going to be their first opportunity to really see them in a live situation going against the defense. So those are the two things I'm really looking forward to, and it's going to be our first opportunity to really get some meat out of what's happened so far.
No doubt. Hey, listen, follow Zach on Twitter at Zach Lentz CST. He's got you covered. Follow us all at Clemson Sports. We're back in 3 on the show that shakes the Southland, Clemson Sports Talk.
Radio wants nothing more than to bring you closer to your favorite artists.
This is Dave Grohl from the Foo Fighters.
So we've updated the iHeart Radio app. No, it's an upgrade. All your favorite music and stations, easier to find, getting you closer to the music you love with just a tap.
This is Taylor Momsen from The Pretty Reckless, and this is iHeart Radio.
All your favorite music, all your favorite stations, all free. Download and open the new iHeart Radio app today.
When summer is sizzling hot, you need something cool to hit the spot. Stop by your local Circle K, where a 69-cent Polar Pop cup will save the day. Fill up and cool down with the coolest drink in town. That's the 69-cent any-size Polar Pop cup, only at Circle K. And while you're there, download the Circle K mobile app. Join us on our mobile app for notifications on great limited-time deals. Stop in and see us today. At Circle K, take it easy.
Cottingham Family Dentistry is proud to announce the opening of their new office located at 3722 Devine Street, and they're welcoming new patients. What makes Cottingham Family Dentistry different? It's in the name, family. They will cater to your needs and the dental needs of your children. Cottingham Family Dentistry offers same-day crowns, dental implants, cosmetic dentistry, including whitening, veneers, and tooth-colored fillings, and many other dental services. If you're searching for an amazing dental home, call 776-4234 or stop by their new office at 3722 Devine Street and become a part of the family at Cottingham Family Dentistry.
Stars and Stripes Sports is a leader in the sports athlete development market, offering innovative health, fitness, training, and player development solutions for players and coaches of all levels of youth sports. Stars and Stripes Sports is looking to add at least 2 people per state to start their own business for sports testing and to market these events locally. We want people to start their programs in early 2017, starting with spring training. Many high-quality athletes fail to reach their potential. Call Chris today, 704-737-9970, or email Chris Carlson at starsandstripesports.com. Looking to get away without having to spend a whole day traveling to your destination? Ocean Reef Resort offers 1, 2, 3, and 4-bedroom accommodations with the comforts of home and boasts the best oceanfront views. Swim in their sparkling indoor and outdoor pools, relax in their hot tubs, try out the Adventure Oasis pool with adult-sized water slide, or just float down the 250-foot lazy river. Visit us at oceanreefmyrtlebeach.com or call us at 1-866-935-0530 to learn more.
From 2 men and a truck, movers who care. The scattered storms will die off overnight and the lows will fall to the mid-70s. Tomorrow, sunny, highs in the low 90s, and once again, some scattered late afternoon and evening storms. For Channel 25 ABC Columbia, I'm Chief Meteorologist John Farley.
This report is brought to you by your local Food Lion.
Wake up to even lower prices during Food Lion's 3-day breakfast sale this week. Select varieties of 4-pack Dannon Activia yogurts are 3 for $5, and Thomas's Bagels or Mini Bagels are 2 for $4. Sale starts Saturday, 8 a.m. Food Lion, how refreshing.
Welcome back to Clemson Sports Talk, your iHeart Radio home for the 2016 College Football National Champion, Clemson Tigers.
Clemson Sports Talk, Lawton Swan. Lowell, the producer, at Lowell CST, at Clemson Sports, at CST Show. Zach Lentz joined us moments ago. We were trying to line up Frank Garcia, but he coaches football, up in North Carolina. So it can be difficult to get it up with Frank this time of the year simply because he's grinding on the football field, coaching a little bit. Lowell, we talked Sammy Watkins earlier in the show in reference to Sammy's trade from Buffalo to Los Angeles. Arguably, the next big running back in the NFL, Ezekiel Elliott. You might recall Zeke at Ohio State.
I know Alabama fans do.
Leading them to a national championship. What year was it? Was it last season? It was 2 years ago, right? When Ohio State got beat by Michigan State, I believe it was. And he was crying, remember, like foaming at the mouth. Do you remember that moment too? Looking like a big old loser. Big old baby. Just crying. Did you don't remember that? And the bubbles were coming out of his mouth when he was talking?
That's harsh.
You don't remember that? Well,
that's harsh, though.
We're talking about a guy with allegations of beating up a woman.
Allegations, which we should point out.
Yeah,
he was not
criminally
charged.
No, but the NFL's the higher court here, I guess. And they have suspended him for 6 games for violating the personal conduct policy. There is no denying the fact that he pulled down a woman's top during a...
He has done some very unintelligent things during his time in the NFL.
Yes. But his ex-girlfriend accused him of domestic violence. And the NFL, after reviewing that, and this came out in 2016, well over a year ago, this news came out. After conducting a investigation, the NFL has suspended him for 6 games, and there is potential that if he has any other issues during his career, the NFL may very well suspend him forever from the league. Now, it is expected that Elliott will appeal. Without an appeal, though, his suspension will begin September the 2nd, and he would not be eligible to return to the Cowboys until October 23rd after the Cowboys' Week 7 game against the 49ers. His first possible game would be in Week 8 at Washington. Some people will say that the NFL is overstepping their bounds again because this was not a criminal situation where he was convicted of a crime. And I respect that opinion. I do. But I also like the fact that the NFL, much like some coaches collegiately, even if there is no criminal offense, I like the fact that the NFL has standards of accountability for its players. I like the fact that certain coaches have accountability for their players where others do not.
Here's how I kind of think about this situation. You know, you have kind of two courts of law. You have criminal law and you have civil law.
Civil law. Civil court, yep.
So it's sort of like you didn't get charged in criminal court. Now, the NFL, let's be fair to the NFL, they do have their own investigative team. They do their own work. They come to their own conclusions. And just like in civil court, the level for proof,
the burden of proof is not
much lower.
Yes.
And so obviously they found something they didn't like that violated their codes, and so they suspended him.
It's a prime example of, and listen, I know that when I say the name Dabo Swinney and tell this story, some people are going to go, yes, Juan, you're always champion Swinney. It's not necessarily that I'm championing Dabo Swinney. It's that I'm more familiar with his situations. Think about Dabo Swinney in the situation before the ACC title game with Mike Bentley.
Bellamy.
Sorry, Mike Bentley's a listener. Sorry, Mike. I'm throwing you under the bus again. Mike Bellamy. I take Bellamy and Jake Bentley and I combine them and I get Mike Bentley a listener. Think about that for a minute before the ACC title game. It wasn't like he was arrested, you know? And Swinney took care of the situation. You look at the situation with Deion Kane before the national championship or before the Orange Bowl. Swinney took care of it. Now, the NFL is doing that. They're taking care of a problem. And Elliott's got to grow up. Elliott's got to get it right between his ears. We just talked a few minutes ago about the type players that Clemson is recruiting, the type players that Clemson wants. And the type guys that Clemson recruits and tries to recruit, and it doesn't mean they're going to always hit on these guys 100% of the time. Sometimes you're going to have a miss. Sometimes a guy is going to get through. But they are trying to avoid players like this. They are trying to avoid players who can be detrimental to the team. And what's unique about the statement that Jeff Scott made about recruiting those players, he said, listen, I don't want to misquote him. You can watch the quote. It's over on Twitter. But basically he said, at Clemson Sports, if you want to hear the whole audio, he said, look, a kid like that can beat you every single day at practice. He could beat you. A great football player with a bad attitude can beat you every single day at practice, basically. And ultimately, that's going to cost you games. And so they don't want people like that around their system. The NFL, I would believe, will probably end up cutting this in half if Elliott appeals it. That's just my personal opinion because the NFL, unfortunately, tends to yield to the Players Association and to the players. But good for the league for continuing their stance that if you beat women, if you hit women, or if you're accused of hitting or beating women, you are going to be punished. I love that from the NFL's perspective. Final segment of the week when we return.
Love it raw? For the freshest sushi in town, Sakatumi Grill and Sushi Bar, 807 Gervais Street in the Vista. Sakatumi's flavorful grill for non-sushi fans features the Kobe burger, filet and lobster, chicken hibachi, and more. Fresh sushi, flavorful grill, Sakatumi Grill and Sushi Bar, sakifresh.com.
Time's running out. It's just about here. If you cater to the bridal market and want to get in front of hundreds of new clients in just one afternoon, you need to be at our next bridal show. Network with other wedding pros, and most importantly, book business. 104.7 WNOK's Fall Bridal Showcase coming up September 17th at the Columbia Metropolitan Convention Center. Presented by Southern Way Catering, Carolina Bride Magazine, American Floral, and Columbia Bridal Associates. Reserve your space now at bridecityshows.com. Don't wait, that's bridecityshows.com.
Attention, anyone who's suffering from lower back pain. Right now, HealthSource is offering our listeners an absolutely free back pain consultation on a first-come, first-served basis by calling 803-218-9047. Our doctors can find the root cause of your lower back pain and show you how to get well fast and stay well longer. No more pain. No more feeling worn out. Essentially, no more not feeling like yourself. Call 803-218-9047.
ColumbiaHelpWanted.com salutes the Employee of the Month, the one employee you can't live without. The others, let's just call them Dave.
Dave, why have you been shredding for hours?
The boss said we should cut costs, Mr. Employee of the Month.
How does this cut costs?
These are the expense reports for the whole year.
You shredded them all?
Thanks to me, our expenses this year are zero.
If you don't mind hiring Daves, go to the national job boards. They may be free, but trust us, they'll cost you. We make it easy to post a job, and it's local, so you won't get spammed by faraway job seekers. ColumbiaHelpWanted.com. Local jobs that work. ColumbiaHelpWanted.com salutes the Employee of the Month, the one employee you can't live without. The others, let's just call them Dave.
Dave, are you stealing from the vending machine?
No, Mr. Employee of the Month.
Well, your desk is littered with like hundreds of snacks.
I merely exposed a loophole by reaching my arm through the flap thingy. Does that sound like stealing to you?
Yes.
Granola bar?
If you don't mind hiring Daves, go to the national job boards. They may be free, but trust us, they'll cost you. We make it easy to post a job, and it's local, so you won't get spammed by faraway job seekers. ColumbiaHelpWanted.com. Local jobs that work.
Hey guys, Lawton Swan here. I was hanging out in the backyard with my son Mason the other day, and he said, "Dad, you're the best father ever." I was like, "What makes you say that, son?" He said, "When I go outside to play now, I don't get eaten up by the bugs anymore." Imagine that, me, a hero, when all I did was just a couple of weeks ago call Trey Powell at Mosquito Joe with their routine service plan. No more bugs and no more bites. Make yourself the family hero. Call Mosquito Joe today, 803-223-7916. Outside is fun again.
For more information about contests on this station, go to foxsportsradio1400.com/rules.
Follow Clemson Sports Talk on Twitter at Clemson Sports. Now more of Clemson Sports Talk. Take it away, Dad.
What have you done for me lately? It's a fair question. Just don't lose sight of the bigger picture. Don't forget history. Lucky for us at Clemson, the answer to the questions, what have you done for me lately, and what have you done always, are the same. We win.
Shaking the Southland, about to shake the world on ClemsonSportsTalk.com when our new site debuts ahead of the college football season. Learn more about what we've got coming over on Twitter at Clemson Sports. It's also on our Facebook page. Lowell, we mentioned a couple of Clemson Tigers earlier. Well, Justin Falcinelli, Tyrone Crowder, and Dorian O'Daniel all graduated from Clemson today up at Little John Coliseum. Dabo Swinney gave those three the day off from practice. Of course, tomorrow, stadium scrimmage going on. O'Daniel, who you talked to yesterday, Lowell, is a senior. Already played in 42 games, 13 as a starter with 60 tackles. We heard from Zach Lentz, senior writer for Clemson Sports Talk, a little bit earlier. It is incredible, man, when you hear these guys. You just get a good vibe that when it comes to film study and preparation, they're at the top of the mark. And the coaching staff continues to just ooh and ah over what Dorian O'Daniel brings to this team. So versatile for this ball club. I mean, just incredibly versatile.
He was downplaying himself a little bit if you go listen to that audio.
Yeah.
You know, Hunter Renfrow had been giving him praise, saying that he didn't think he had caught a pass on Dorian all spring or all fall. And Dorian was like, he got me he got me pretty good a few times. Don't. I know he was trying to gas me up, but no, he seems very confident in his position, in his role. And one of the big things is, when Clemson kind of goes to that nickel package, he wants to be able to stay on the field and be the cover guy. He doesn't want to be taken off because he's a coverage liability. And so that's one of the biggest things he's been working on. And I'll tell you what, I think he can do it.
Well, he's a quick guy. He's an athletic guy. And, that's where he can really make a name for himself this year, is if he can show that versatility to be able to cover in space. And again, the Tigers will have a stadium scrimmage tomorrow, closed to the public. After 6 consecutive days of practice, the Tigers will take Sunday off. 4 former Clemson Tiger players also earned their degrees today, including Ryan Norton, Eric McLean, Nick Schuessler. 4 former Ryan, Eric McLean, Nick Schuessler, all earned master's degrees. And Norton, let's see. No, okay. And then a fellow named Haram Pringle, who lettered from 1992 to 1993, earned his graduate degree through the Tiger Trust program. Okay, I thought, man, I'm missing somebody here. But no, we're good. So there you go. 8 active players with undergraduate degrees on the active roster this fall, including Ryan Carter, Marcus Edmond, DJ Greenlee, Maverick Morris, Patrick Godfrey, and then the aforementioned Crowder, Falcinelli, and Dorian O'Daniel, all now graduates of Clemson University. Lowell, with the NFL underway and matchups moving forward and games going on, are the competitive college football juices flowing even more? We talk a lot here about wishing we had college football preseason games. Can you imagine? This weekend would probably be a weekend where you'd get to see a little college football on the television. By the way, right now in the NFL, the Giants leading Pittsburgh 6-0. Tampa Bay leading Cincinnati 3-0. And tonight at 9 o'clock, San Francisco and Kansas City are underway. Up in Charlotte, the PGA Championship, they are in the midst of round 2. Kevin Kessner leading the way at 8 under par, 4 under par on the day, tied with Hideki Matsuyama, who is also at -8. So that's what it's looking like right now. Jason Day still out on the course through 14. He's at 6 under par on the tournament, 5 under for the day. And so, again, the PGA Championship up at Quail Hollow in North Carolina today, tomorrow, and Sunday on CBS and TNT. If you want to see any of that golf tournament, you can. But, my goodness, NFL football all over the place, Lowell. It's been going on since, what was the first game? Wednesday? Was Wednesday the first matchup we saw, or Tuesday?
Believe it was Wednesday.
Yeah. But the NFL, man, all over it. Let's see what games they got scheduled up for people this weekend. I mentioned the 3 tonight, 3 tomorrow. Tennessee at New York, Dallas at Los Angeles, and Oakland at Arizona. By the way, that is the Los Angeles Rams. Hypothetically speaking, Lowell, could Sammy Watkins play in that game as well? I don't know. I mean, I don't think the Rams are going to run him out there, but could you play on Saturday with the Rams? You'll certainly be introduced with the Rams on Saturday.
You could. He didn't play that much.
That would be weird. I wonder how that works. I also wondered about, like, could there be a physical or something he fails that makes this whole thing fall through, or has he already passed the physical and all that stuff that goes along with being traded in the NFL? I mean, because this trade came out of nowhere. The trade came out of absolutely nowhere. That would be something. What if you played for the Bills on a Thursday and the Rams on a Saturday?
Yeah, that might be a first.
Run a guy out there? I have no idea on that front. Sunday, there's a couple of games. Detroit at Indianapolis, Seattle at the Los Angeles Chargers. That's hard with both teams back in L.A. We went for, 20-plus years with nobody in L.A. Now there's two. The Chargers and the Rams both playing in L.A. this year. Again, games underway right now. Pittsburgh at New York, Tampa Bay at Cincinnati, and then tonight, San Francisco at Kansas City. So there you go, Lowell.
I'm trying to find out when the first Division II football game of the year is, because that's usually on before the other games. That's usually the first college football game of the year that I watch, and I can't find it.
Somebody said there were 20 days until college football season. I saw that somewhere. 20 days until college football season. So that would be the 31st of August. There must be a game. I don't know what that game is. Again, happy birthday, Dad. Appreciate you listening and being part of the show every night. Hope you had a good one, and look forward to many more with you. 83 years old today. Lowell, you got that first game of the season?
First games are going to be on the 26th, and it's for both FBS and FCS.
August 26th?
August 26th. You get Oregon State and Colorado State.
College football's coming, ladies and gentlemen. Until Monday, for Lowell, I'm Lawton Swan. As always, y'all take care now. And go Tigers!
Need custom shirts, hats, or uniforms? How about promotional giveaways for your business or organization? Need fast turnaround times? Look no further than Meridian Printing and Promotions. Located in Lexington, they provide an in-house art department, in-house screen printing, and in-house embroidery services to the Midlands and beyond. For the absolute best quality products and services, contact Meridian Printing and Promotions, 785-4990. Check them out online, mbspromo.com.
The solar eclipse is coming. Watch it safely and in style with your free eclipse glasses available right now at all Pit Stop convenience stores. That's right, Coca-Cola and Pit Stop are partnering to give a pair of eclipse glasses to every customer who buys a Coke product at Pit Stop. Absolutely no catch. Just buy a Coke product and get a pair of commemorative glasses free. Limit one per customer while supplies last, so hurry in, because like the eclipse, if you miss it, you miss it. Want free eclipse glasses? Don't stop till you're at Pit Stop.
Our customers receive the best heating and air conditioning service in South Carolina. Hi, I'm Tim Mosley, and I can make that statement because that's what our customers tell us every day. We call it quality confirmed. Call us at 803-233-7172, and we'll call you when the job is done to confirm we met your expectations. That's quality confirmed. We're Carolina Conditions, and we're committed to meeting your expectations. 803-233-7172. Call us at 803-233-7172.
Tiger fans, look no further than the Tiger Sports Shop in Clemson for all your game day gear. Since 1974, they've brought you everything Clemson for the Clemson fan, with quality brand names such as Nike, Under Armour, Antigua, Ping, and many more. From hats to t-shirts to tailgate, the Tiger Sports Shop has all the Clemson apparel a true Tiger fan needs. With 2 convenient game day locations in Tigertown, shop where I shop at I Am Ibrahim's Tiger Sports Shop. They fuel the passion of Tiger fans everywhere. Check them out online, tigersports.com. Lawton Swan here, and I know in sports we're always talking about the big guy. Well, let me tell you, when you're buying a car, you don't need that. What you need to do is head down to Orangeburg to my good friends at Ferry Chevrolet Cadillac. 4 generations of family